What is going on, everyone? We are back with another music reaction. I'm Depraved.
I'm Hellcat.
And together we are
HellaDepraved.
writing a theme.
Yeah. However, so I'm excited about this. I read GAWNE's little blurb when he dropped this saying that it wasn't one that he really wanted to release because it was so personal, but on the flip side, he knew people would relate. So it's supposedly a true story from one of the darkest points in his life.
Oh, those are fun.
I mean, yeah. Probably not the adjective I would have chosen. We enjoy personal tracks because, A, normally we can relate better, and the transparency that the artist is giving us is valuable.
Sure.
We are sort of on a realistic worldview mental health slide today, though. So we've been reacting to stuff that is probably not the most uplifting. Which is what he's referring to. So,
anyways, I'm super excited for this. We haven't checked out a GAWNE track since he dropped
Atlas
the last
and
one with
GAWNE?
Atlas.
Yeah.
I think this is the third one he's dropped solo since then.
Okay. Excited.
But we're here, and again, we're super excited for this. So, we're going to react to this. If you guys have already seen it, if not, click the link in the description below. Hopping over to all the things, coming back because we're a commentary, reaction, breakdown, comedy channel, and what that means, we will pause for any and or all of the above, and for all of your depressing needs.
And shipping
Please,
Atlas and GAWNE.
please note, if there are any lagging moments, we do apologize until we can get a nice new computer, which we are trying desperately to save it for. Again, it's not working, but we'll get there eventually. But yeah, so if it happens, it happens, and we're sorry. So,
Right.
it's time to size up, break it down. This is GAWNE with Drowning.
I mean, like, are there dead bodies everywhere? Every time I read drowning, I think of drowning pool.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah.
Right.
So, are there dead bodies everywhere?
Probably not. Let's get it.
All my darkest thoughts have risen from their grave. If I let them in, I'll never let them leave. I've been talking to you, trying to make ends meet. If I scream it louder, will you answer me? I'm drowning, I'm drowning, I'm drowning. Why won't you save me?
Yeah,
I'm drowning,
it's kinda like
I'm drowning.
everything that you ever told me
Why won't
was
you
wrong.
save me?
Where were you when I was down and out on the ground and then drowning? I've been in over my head trying to hold my breath underwater. Man, the thought of suffocating, fucking hate it, it's awful. But I'd rather asphyxiate than run back into the slaughter. We the sacrificial lambs to this shit. Fuck a label, spend a couple $100,000 just to stand in this bitch. I'm my own independent, now I own every record. And I'm packed with the vengeance, doing damage again. Damn, I was down bad, ramen noodles in my pad till I got myself a bag, never famine again. Feast, I'ma put my fam in a Benz. We send a couple bands to a friend, but enemies feel the wrath and repent. Let's pretend that everything I know disappeared. Where the hell would Luke even go? I done spent so many years in the cold to get here on my own. Still the devil's in my ear and I fear for my soul.
I'm drowning, I'm drowning, I'm drowning. Why won't you save me?
Out of everybody wishing they
All right, before we move on.
First of all, GAWNE in here looking like the type of prophet that I'd follow. The all white linen outfit on the beach. Yeah.
Now, me on the other hand, I'm the one that would walk away.
I'm more the leader type than the follower. But I'm too lazy to be a leader. So, you know.
My problem, though, is I don't like beaches.
Oh,
Now, if you want to walk happily into a forest with
He'll
our
skip
packets
with
of
you.
Flavor Aid,
no. Yeah, he'll skip with you.
And-
It's cool.
I'll hold your hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
No, I like the outfit. Very beachworthy.
he had said something along the lines towards the end of that, where he had said, "Let's pretend," and went on a quick little scheme there.
Right.
It actually reminded me very much of B.O.B.'s Airplanes 2,
Right.
featuring M. because that whole song was them basically saying, let's pretend like something different happened than what actually happened.
Yeah. I do want to point out, there's nothing wrong with ramen.
Ramen is delicious.
Except for when it's the only thing you have in the house to eat. Because been there, done that for a long time. And
we actually have ramen because we like it.
Right. But it took me a little while to go back to it. Not like years. Don't get me wrong. But like, I had so much of it for probably a 2-year period.
You know what's really good with ramen? Spam.
Oh, okay.
Spam is good with a lot of things. Like,
this is one of those things that we just kind of like agree to disagree and
like
move on.
If you're okay with insane indigestion, Spam in macaroni and cheese is also really good.
And salt levels. Yeah. There's a lot of sodium.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it bothers your blood work. No, so I'm guessing that a lot of this has to do with labels. I mean, he mentioned them. I know he's independent now. Wasn't he in a fight with a label early on?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm also getting this vibe. It's not even just so much about labels. It's just I like, at least to me,
it was the grind and the money he spent to get where he's at.
It feels a lot more like just people not being there for him.
Well, I would guess that that's the entire scheme of the thing is the, yeah. But I was talking about some of the actual lyrics that he used close to the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't.
But the overall context that I'm getting is that he's believed in himself and has been working extremely hard to get where he's at. Spent a lot of money, a lot of years starving and cold and hungry. And now that he is where he is, looking back on it, like, he felt like he was drowning. He heard all of these insecurities, all of these thoughts that probably other people helped exacerbated by saying the same things. And he's like, where were you? You were supposed to be family. You were supposed to be friends. You were supposed to be mentors, whatever their role was. And you let me down. And now I'm here. I made it. But he does still deal with the insecurities and the demons that he acquired during the process.
Right.
Yeah. And I will say that the singer for the hook is fantastic.
Why won't you sing?
Out of everybody wishing they were dead, how many will put a pistol to the head? Yeah, I remember sitting on my bed, suicide note, thinking it's the end when I'ma pull the trigger. Hell of heaven, where will I go? Hell if I know. Got the police at the door, wellness check at my home. People texting my phone saying don't put that tech to my dome. Fuck them, y'all don't understand what the heck I've been going through. Yeah, I'm going off the deep, across the sea. Been sinking like the Boston Tea. I'm drowning, don't talk to me. My life has been so awful, please. I'm going down, then I'm off to sleep. Jumping off of the deep end, all my life had demons. Police on my block, man, I used to get beat up once again. Fuck friends, I don't need them. So I stayed at home every weekend. Out the loneliness rose like a phoenix. And I grew to be so brutally wild, not a child anymore. What the fuck you gonna do to me now? Going down, shooting 2 to 3 rounds. It's a eulogy, you foolery clowns. I'm drowning, yeah. Someone save me.
I like that.
Yeah. Nice kind of insight into what he's gone through mentally. I mean, nice being sort of a weird adjective to use for someone talking about their deepest depression, but I think the point got across a little bit. It's hard to talk about any sort of serious suicide contemplation. So I give him props for that. Yeah, I give him props for bringing it up.
If you guys ever want to know what I went through, go check out my review, and it was before she came along. Check out my review for Eminem Sing for the Moment. Yeah. I talk about it in that video.
Yeah. It was incredibly well constructed. Like, and GAWNE is always amazing with the beat he chooses, instruments, whoever sings, the whole 9 yards.
One of man, and this is where honestly being a human is hard. One of the things that we spend a lot of time hoping for, whether we want to, and again, it's to an extent, we all want to be accepted, especially more so by our friends, or we wouldn't have considered them friends in the first place.
Right.
And one of the things that's rough about that is having friends that aren't necessarily into what dreams you're chasing. Because you feel like they should support you. But at the same time, if you're honest with yourself, if they were doing something you weren't really into, there's a good chance you necessarily wouldn't be there to support them in that endeavor either. You'll support them as a friend, be like, hey, do what you're doing. If you enjoy it, keep rolling with it.
Well, you would hope that your friends at least give you that. I mean, there are some people that are your friends that tell you that you're, chasing a line of shit. Or that you aren't good enough, or whatever, in which case they're not your friends.
Right.
I understand what you're saying, though. Like, plus, as adults, we all have our own lives, and they got to be taking care of their dreams and themselves in the process.
Exactly. And I know I went through, when I first started doing this, I'll say roughly about after the first full year that I was doing YouTube stuff. I actually got really frustrated with my friends. And a lot of it was, I felt like they didn't care about what I was doing. But I think the problem with that is when you get into that mind state, you lose sight of what you're doing it for.
Right.
You're not doing it for your friends. You're not doing it
for your family.
For your family. You're doing it for yourself.
If it provides for your family, great.
Right.
If you can incorporate your friends, great.
Right. I got really lucky and found somebody that doesn't mind sitting here with me for 2 to 3 hours every night, recording reactions, bullshitting.
Right. That's not our live stream nights. That's like 12 hours.
On live stream nights, it's like 9 to 12 hours.
Right.
Thanks to George. We love you, George. and all of you guys, you're all fantastic. But no, it's a very bad spot to get into.
Mentally, yeah.
And I'm thankful that my friends were actually patient with me during those times. Like, I never went to them and was like, you all suck.
Right.
But I did have tweets that would pop off every now and again, and I'm followed by a few of my friends.
Little angsty, little frustrated.
That were like, man, I wish I had friends here to be with me during this ride, and, stuff like that. And then I'd always get somebody to text back, hey, man, are you okay?
Yeah. You
like,
sound?
Yeah, I'm bitchy. Leave me alone.
I think on a bigger scale, and this just is going back to the hook of this song, and I don't know that it's necessarily meant this way, but I think as humans, there's a stage in our life that we all want someone to save us too. Whether we grow out of that and are disillusioned when we're children, teenagers, young adults, it doesn't really matter. But there is a stage in every human's life that we are looking for someone to save us. Of course, when you're a young kid, what you want to be saved from is way different than as a preteen, teenager, young adult, so on and so forth. But it's what makes a lot of people look for a higher power. A lot of people turn angry and jaded and say, fine, I'll just fucking save myself. It's what gets a lot of people into relationships that they shouldn't have been in the first place, involved with peer groups that they shouldn't have been involved with. And it's not just a desire to fit in. It's you are looking for something that will save you from something. And I don't necessarily mean on like a huge grand scale, white knight riding in. Some people are looking for that. Some people are just looking for someone to save them from going home until after 6. You know, I mean, it can be small things too. And unfortunately, it takes enough bad experiences or just experiences where it doesn't happen to realize that it's probably not going to happen. And you are going to have to take care of yourself at some point. Right. So I think that a wide span of people, even if they haven't had the type of thoughts that he addressed in the second verse, can relate to this track.
It was a good track.
Yeah.
It's a good track. All right, so if you guys like the video, slash that like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Comment down below, what did you think of Gone with Drowning? Also, comment down below if there's anything else you guys want to see reacted to. Check the description below for all the things.
Push our buttons. Come join us on our other social media platforms, mostly Twitter if you want a quicker response.
We love you guys. Thank you all for watching. Cannot wait to see you to pray people later.